Amina, fleeing from 4 rogues, is rescued at the border of another pack's territory. She meets Skylar and her brother, the leader of the Blue Creek pack, Christian. Welcome to the Alpha's Love channel. If you enjoy this story, don't forget to subscribe and give it a thumbs up. Chapter 16 Kingston POV. I was up finishing paperwork. I turned to look at the clock. 2:30 am. I sat there in my chair replaying what happened earlier with Amina. Was I being too harsh? The pain in her eyes killed me. My wolf Kai isn't speaking to me at the moment, because of what happened. I couldn't let her fall for me. I don't deserve her. I know she was coming around 7, so I called Crystal to come in. She's known around the pack. I knew she'd try to seduce me, so I let it happen in front of my mate, so she can hate me. It'll only hurt her if she fell for me. I feel guilty to Noah and Cassie fight. I mean Tet, we are talking shit about me, in front of me. 2:45 a.m, time for bed. I think I'll stay in the pack house tonight. Too tired to walk home. As I'm leaving my office headed to the next door for bed, I hear Cassie mind linking the hole in pack. Anyone please answer, she pleaded through the remind link. Cassie. What's wrong? I mind link her back. Alpha. You need to come, they are hurting her. They're gonna kill her, please. She crying hysterically. Everyone closed your mind link now. Was all I said through the mind link, but to be on the safe side, I mind link. Cassie closed your mind link with everyone, just open it to me and Noah. I mind link her. As that's happening I run into my beta room and kicked him right off the bed. What the Kingston, he said angrily. Open your mind link with Cassie now, I spat. Okay, it's open, he said with a confused look. Cassie, are you there? I mind link her. I'm here, she cried in the mind link. Baby, what's wrong? Noah asked worried. Please save her, they're gonna kill her, she slit his throat. Cody, leave me alone, she said through the mind link. A loud growl was heard through the mind link. Who these? Cody. Noah mind link her back. The youngster we came with, she stuttered. Cody. Oh, Cody, 18-year-old. I decided at Cody in our mind link. Cody. Yes, Alpha, he said with a shaky voice. Mind telling me what going on? I asked. Amina, Cassie screamed through the mind link. Amina. Cody. What these going on? I used my Alpha voice. Alf, if you don't hurry, that rouge that live at the border of our territory is gonna die. We're at a club called Cool It. I don't what it is in her, but I got her a sudden urge to protect her. The link was cut. We were already in wolf form running towards that club. When we for there it was chaos. I have 6 maybe 7 youngster beaten amp bruised. But what made my red water boil was when I saw her in rogues with my mate in his hand. Oh, she's not a rouge. Just look at the power that's radiating off her. She's in Luna amp, she has alpha red water. Let's have a little taste of this Luna. She'll make strong babies. Haha, you think she's the one Derek looking for? They said. My wolf Kai growled furiously, he wants red water. Right before they got a chance to say anything, Kai lunges at them, killing one rouge and going for the one that made that nasty comment towards our mate. While Noah takes care of the other 2, but one managed to escape. I didn't care, all I cared about was my mate. I shift back into human form, not caring if anyone saw any without clothes or not. Amina, hey love, look at me, we're gonna get you helped. I turned to see everyone. Noah has his arm wrapped tightly around Cassie, while she's still crying on his chest. Cody, lift Amina onto my back. Once I shift, I said. Hey love, look at me, you guys hold on, it'll be faster if I take you in wolf form. Her eyes were grey, lifeless, but she managed to nod. I shifted into my wolf form. Cody, gently place Amina belly down on my back, she firmly grips my fur. And I was off. Noah was right behind me with Cassie on top. I mind link Cody and friends, we'll talk about it tomorrow, just to head home and sleep. Before I got to my house, I mind-linked the pack doctor to come. Once we got there he was already waiting at the door. He cleaned all the cuts up. He said there were no internal damage. She'll heal up soon. Then Cassie changed her, into my t-shirt of course. Damn did she look sexy in that red dress. We said our goodnights. What the hell are you wearing? Noah yelled, as I'm walking them downstairs to the door. It's caller in dress she responded. Well where is the rest of it? He questioned. She turned around and said it's shoved up your ass. I can't believe you blocked me off your mind link. She sounded a little hurt. I'm sorry, sweetheart, was the last thing I heard before shutting and locking my door. Cassie was of course hesitant about letting Amina stay here with me, but I kept telling her she'll heal faster with her mate next to her. At this point Noah knows Amina is my mate. I'm sure the youngsters are suspicious as well. I took my pants off and shirt, leaving me in boxer. I slid next to my mate and wrapped my arms around her waist, pulling her into my chest, and slowly drifted to sleep. Chapter 17. Amina Pov finally sleeping in with no one waking me up. It was the most comfortable sleep I've ever gotten. Sat up in bed, look around. Wait, this isn't my room. So I tried to get out of bed, but something was holding me back. I looked down to what it is. Someone's arms were wrapped around my waist. I slowly turn my direction to where the culprit is to see who it is. Kingston. Wait. How? What happened last night? Better question. Who the changed me? Oh. My. Goddess. Did we? I turn around once again, ready to give him hell, but was taken back at how relaxed my mate looked. So instead I laid back down facing him and admiring him while I can. Cause this most likely won't happen again. I decided to do something stupid. I lift my fingers and started to trace his jawline. Sparks and tingles were shooting up from my arm throughout my body. I went from his jawline to his lips. My eyes were fixated on those kissable lips. I didn't realize it until after I look up from his lips into his beautiful sky blue eyes. Different emotions were flickering in them: guilt, hurt, and lust. I shot up, pried his arms off of me and ran to the bathroom. My heart is beating fast. I feel a blush heating my face. Walked to the bathroom sink and threw water on it. I look up in the mirror and saw something horrific and screamed. Not a second later after I scream, the bathroom door flung open, with a worried Kingston. What happened? What's wrong? Are you hurt? Do I need to call the pack doctor? He asked, worried, while examining my face and body. No, Kingston, I don't need a pack doctor, I said, slapping his hands off of me. But I do want to know why my face looked like a unicorn threw up on. I asked, annoyed. He had a scowl face. You don't remember what happened, love? He asked. Wait, did he just call me love? Amina, get a hold of yourself. So I shook the thought out. If I remember, would I be asking you, Kingston? I reply, awkwardly smiling. He shivers, then smiles, taking steps towards me, as I'm taking steps backwards, until I'm back up to against a wall, while we're face to face, well, technically face to his chest. Did I mention he's freakish tall? I love it when you say my name, he whispers while he leans down, placing a kiss on my forehead, walking out the bathroom, not before turning around, sending me a wink. What the just happened? I came out the bathroom. Kingston was no longer in the bedroom. So I followed the smell of bacon. And here we are awkwardly having breakfast. Quietly. Kingston, what happened last night? I questioned. Why is my face, and some parts of my body bruised up? I asked. He slams his fist down on the table, hard. And broke the table in half, which of course made me yelp and flinch. There goes my breakfast. He really has anger issue. My face immediately frown, looking at my bacons. On the floor. I.P. bacon. I put my hands over my heart, and wipe a fake tear with my free hand. What the hell wrong with you? He looks at me with his eyebrow raised up. I clear my throat. I think I'll head home now, thank you for breakfast. And I'll see you at the pack house later. I'm just gonna go home and change, I stated, heading towards the front door. What do you mean? He asked while following behind me. I still gotta work, Kingston. I still need food and other personal items to buy, I said, annoyed, thinking back to my bacon breakfast. I literally had maybe 3 bites. I'm gonna be hungry until who knows when. Well, I think you should go rest, take the day off, come back for lunch and dinner, he stated while throwing me a sweatpant. Okay, thank you, I said, making a right, walking home. Other way, Amina, turning right back around, walking opposite direction of where I was first headed. Not before giving Kingston an awkward smile. Home, but yet I felt so empty. I threw myself on the bed, smiling stupidly at what happened this morning. I need to stop this foolishness. Kingston has the She-Wolf, why would he ever want a rogue like me? I needed to go for a run, and I'll ask Cassie to give me the rundown on what happened last night, later. Chapter 18. Amina Pov 12, noon. Lunch? I was ready to eat, because breakfast went so great. Not walking to the border to get clearance, but was denied. What? Are you sure he denied my clearance? I asked the guard patrol. Yes, the Alpha said not to let you in, he replied. Thank you, I said, stomping back home. Late on the couch while my stomach was growling. I swear, Kingston, you drive me insane, I yelled, throwing one of the decorative pillow. Well, let me know how you really feel. I turned to see who else. Kingston. I really need to start locking my doors. Was all I could say. I brought lunch, he says while putting a couple plates on the table. All I could do was smile. Slow down, love, the food is not going anywhere, he said with a smile. A freaking smile. Brushing the thought of how handsome my mate's smile was, I took another big bite of my burger. Why did you deny my clearance? I questioned while stuffing some fries in my mouth now. I didn't think you wanted to go looking like, in your words, a unicorn throw up. Although it's barely visible now, how'd you heal so fast? He questioned. I just shrugs my shoulders, even though I know the answer. Alpha red water. Any werewolf with alpha red water usually heals twice as fast than a regular werewolf. Thank the goddess he didn't question me anymore. Thanks for lunch, I said, walking Kingston out. I'll see you for dinner, he responded. Walking to the border. Hey, can you send Cassie here, I'm bored, I yelled. No can do, she's serving her punishment along with the youngins, he yelled back. Sitting at the table after Kingston left. They are on punishment. This is all my fault. I wanted to go out, I dragged Cassie, while Cassie dragged the youngins. But still. This is so frustrating. I guess I'll go for a run again. Ashlyn will like it. What you say, Lynn, wanna go for another run? I ask. Yeah, it beats just sitting around mopping, she replied. We ran for a couple miles. Every run going a little further from the cottage territory. Today we ran 10 miles out. Found a lake, not the one Cassie and I got caught at, that was actually in the pack territory. Kingston has at least 2,500 werewolves in his pack, and 40 acres of land. Well, at least that's what Paul told me. When you're bored like me with nothing to do, you talk to the pack guard on patrol. Everyone on patrol seemed to like me except for one person. His name is Jake. His looks around his late 20s. He's mated, and has a little 4-year-old, and his mate is pregnant at the moment, according to Paul. Hey, you can't blame us, it gets boring with nothing to do. Anyways, Jake always stares at me in disgust. He even have some colorful vocabulary for me when he see me staring at him. Whatever, I'm used to Kingston Pack treating me like that, nothing new. Sad thing is I'm supposed to be their Luna. I came back, showered. Waited for Kingston. It's now 6:30 p.m, guess I'm not having dinner tonight. I pick up a book Cassie brought me and started reading it. 5 minutes in, someone was knocking on my door. It's not Kingston or Cassie, they usually just barged in. So I opened the door slightly to see who it was. It was one of the older pack guard. "Hi Craig," I said while opening my door a little wider. "Evening Amina, Alpha asked me to tell you dinner ready," he said. "Okay, thanks Craig." I waved him goodbye once I crossed over to the territory. As I'm walking, a werewolf came up to me. "Thank you so much for saving my daughter," she said. I just look at her with a confused face. "You're welcome," I said with a smile. That was weird. I got to the kitchen and all the conversations and laughing came to a halt once eyes were landed on. I walk up to Ruth and ask if I can have a plate. She smiled at me and handed me a plate. I decided to eat at the island in the kitchen alone, 'cause I was feeling a weird vibe today. I gotta find Cassie after dinner. I need to know what happened. After dinner I helped the Omegas clean up, even though they kept telling me they didn't need help. I still helped out anyways. "Hey Ruth, can you point me to Cassie's room? I wanna talk to her before I leave," I asked. "Of course, it's on the 3rd floor, 3rd door to your right," she said smiling. "Thanks Ruth, I'll see you tomorrow," waving her a goodbye. Chapter 19. Amina Pov knock knock. "This better be good, Noah, I'm tired," screamed Cassie. "Sorry to burst your bubbles, but it's not Noah," I said opening the door. "Amina," she said as she shot up from her bed. "The one and only," I replied with a grin. "Ah," she squealed, running towards me with open arms. "I felt like I haven't seen you in forever," she said, letting me go from the hug. "Don't over-exaggerate, it's only been one day," I said. "How are you here? Does the Alpha knows you're here? Your face healed up, I see." She stated I was here for dinner, and yes he does. "And you should know I would have been healed by this afternoon," I answered. Now refresh my memories on what happened last night, and how I ended up in Kingston House, I asked. "Oh my gosh. I killed someone. I can't believe this all happened in one night," I exclaimed, after Cassie gave me the rundown on last night. Liquor courage, I would have never done that if I didn't have alcohol in my system. "No more drinking for me anymore. How embarrassing," I said, throwing myself on Cassie's bed. "So last night those rogues wanted you hurt the female wolf that came with us. That explains why the woman thanked me this morning. She teased me for another hour. Yeah, the worst part is we all got in trouble, and you're scotch-free," she pouted. "I'm sorry Cass, what was your punishment?" I questioned. "The Alpha made all 7 of us do the chores you were supposed to do for work, for another 2 days," she said, annoyed. "Ha ha ha. I'll be back at work tomorrow to help you," I said. "It's getting late, I should head home," I say, standing up walking towards her door. "Good night bestie," I said, shutting her door. "Night," I hear while walking away from the door. I was headed downstairs, but was stopped by his intoxicating smell. So instead of going downstairs, I headed up one more flight of stairs. Standing in front of his office, I hesitated to knock. Last time I knocked and barged in didn't go so well. So I just decided I'll go home, until I heard, "Are you gonna come in or stand out there?" I walked in. "Hey," I said. "Hey," Kingston responded, but still on his laptop. "So, I talked to Cassie and wanted to come in here to thank you for helping me last night," I stated, awkwardly standing there. "No problem," he said coldly. "Well, that's my cue to leave. Good night," Kingston eyed, walking out his office. "Wait, I'll go with you. I'm gonna head home anyways," he stated, getting up. We walked downstairs, nobody saying a word. I was walking behind him as we exited the pack house. Still no talking. I wonder why he looks so tired. Because you kept him up all night with your shenanigans, my wolf chimed in. I told her to shut and blocked her. Was it because of me he didn't enough sleep? I was so consumed in my thoughts, I didn't realize Kingston stopped walking, and bam. I walked right into him, causing me to fall on my ass. Watch where you're walking, he said, annoyed. Sorry, I didn't know you were gonna stop out of nowhere. I shot back with an attitude. I mean, I'm the one on my ass, for crying out loud. We continued walking in silence. Well, this is my stop. Good night, Kingston, I said, while he continued walking towards his house. Not even a good night back or anything. Screw him. Here I was worried about him. Stupid mate Bond. I walked into my cottage, showered, and head to bed. Sitting in my bed, I couldn't help but wonder why he keeps switching up on me. 1 minute we are good, the next minute he hates me again. He's so confusing, and this mate Bond isn't helping the situation. I laid down and drift off to sleep. Chapter 20. Amina Pov. Waking up the next morning was so exhausting. I went into the bathroom and did my morning routine. Then head to the border for clearance. Got to the pack house, didn't even bother checking in with Kingston. I got to start helping Ruth and the other Omegas with breakfast for the pack. Halfway through, Cassie and the youngsters came in. Good morning, guys, I said, smiling ear to ear. Hey, I heard from everyone sounding like they didn't get enough of sleep. After breakfast was served, Cody pulled me aside. I know you're the Luna, he stated, my eyes widened. Wait, PSSSSH. No? What makes you think that, I said, awkwardly smiling. Well, the obvious reason is Alpha never worries about any She-Wolf the way he was worried about you that night. 2. Why would he let a Rouge come in and out of the territory without a worry? Let alone give you a cottage right next to the territory. And last but not least, you wouldn't look me in the eye right now, so therefore you just confirmed it. You the Luna, he said with his arms crossed over his chest and a grin. That little shit. I mean, he's like 1 year younger than me, but still he's a little smartass. He was the oldest out of the group of friends he was with that night. Everyone else looked like Tet were 15 or 16. Listen here, nobody, and I mean nobody, finds out, do you hear me? It can make Kingston mad, and I'll definitely won't get to stay in that cottage anymore, I said, whispering so that no one could hear us. Holy shit, you really are the Lun dash. I cut him off by placing my hands over his mouth. Shut up, I said with my hands still over his mouth. What is going on here? I heard from behind me. Kingston. I let my hands fall to my side, while Kingston gave us the death glare. Nothing, Alpha, just speaking to the Lun owl. He yelled out and glared at me, while I removed my foot off of his, with a triumph smile. I interrupting something, he growled. No, you're not, Alpha, I said, stomping out. Don't walk away from me when I'm talking to you, he follows behind me. He then yanked my wrist hard, pulling me towards him. I said, don't walk away from me when I'm talking to you, he said a little louder. Trying to squirm out of his hold only made things worse. He gripped my wrist harder, while his eyes flicker from blue eyes to black. Let me go, Kingston, you're hurting me, I screamed. At this point there was a crowd forming to see what was going on. Alpha, please let her go, Cody said behind him. Which didn't help at all. His eyes got even darker, if that's even possible. Alpha, let Amina go. This time it was Noah who pleaded with a worried Cassie behind him. Kingston, please, you're hurting me, I said, tears in my eyes. But it was no use. His wolf was taking over. You will not disrespect me, in my pack house, Rouge. He roared. Then all you hear was snap, and I screamed a red water-curdling scream after. He broke my wrist. His grip was still on my broken, bruised up wrist, making me whimper, and tears flowing like a river. "Kingston, stop please," I pleaded. "Witch, snap him back." He let go, and my arm dropped towards the floor while I fell on my knees, sobbing in tears. Grabbing my arm, I cradled it to my chest. "Everyone get back to what you were doing, nothing to see here," I hear Noah yelled. I couldn't see anything because of my blurred vision from the tears. "We gotta get you to the pack doctor, Noah, I need your help," Cassie yelled, while rubbing my back. We got to the infirmary, and Noah placed me down in a seat. "Hey doc, we could use your help," Noah said. While I'm still cradling my wrist arm to my chest, trying to control my breathing, but failing miserably. All of a sudden I couldn't breathe anymore, I'm gasping for air, but nothing coming in. "Noah, I think she's having a panic attack," Cassie screamed. All I heard was, "Please breathe, love." Too late. All I see was little black dots, and I fell into darkness. Chapter 21 Kingston POV. Since I left the office early last night, I was well rested. Last night I decided I need to fight this mate bond. I can't fall in love with her, she'll only make me weak. I need to keep reminding myself what happened with my father and mother. I can't fall in love with her. She's not your mother, Kingston, and you're not your father, you need to move on. Mate wouldn't hurt us, you need to give her a chance. My wolf Kai said. "All right, just one chance," I replied. While Kai is jumping up and down, making me smile. "Good morning, Alpha. Amina is here and need clearance. A pack guard mind link me." "Let her in," I mind link back. I sat in bed for a couple of minutes, then headed to the bathroom to shower. I walked in the pack house ready to talk to Amina, couldn't find her in the kitchen. "Noah, Cassie, where's Amina?" I question. "She was here just a second ago, maybe she went outside," Cassie replied. I went outside and followed her scent. What I saw hurt my wolf. She was whispering something with her hands over Cody's mouth. "What the is going on here?" I yelled out. They both turned around, and Amina's hands dropped from Cody's mouth. They both had guilt in their eyes. "Nothing, Alpha, just speaking to the lun owl," he said, glaring at Amina. I was livid, I didn't even hear what he said. I interrupting something?" I growled. "No. You're not, Alpha," Amina said, stomping away from me. "Don't walk away from me when I'm talking to you," I said, following behind her. I then yanked her wrist hard, pulling her towards me. I said, "Don't walk away from me when I'm talking to you," repeating myself. I couldn't think straight anymore. All that ran through my mind was what my mother did to my father, all the pain and suffering I went through. "You will not disrespect me, in my pack house, Rouge," I roared. Then I heard a red water-curdling scream after. "Kingston, stop please," she screamed, snapping me back to my senses. I let go of her arm, while she fell to the floor on her knees crying, cradling her broken wrist. What the have I done? My wolf Kai was angry, he took over and I did nothing to stop him. I stood there for a couple minutes, and realized she was gone. I followed her scent to the infirmary. I see Noah talking to the pack doctor, and seconds later I hear Cassie screamed out, "Noah, I think she's having a panic attack." I instantly ran towards my mate. She was trying to breathe. "Please breathe, love," was all I could say, before she passed out. "Where are all the doctors at?" I yelled out. Then I see our pack doctor and nurses running towards my mate and I. He rushed my mate inside one of the rooms. I decided to follow in. He grabbed my mate, then put the oxygen mask on her, and started examining my mate's wrist, which I can see clearly is purple and blue, bent in a weird angle. I furiously growled, making everyone shake with their head bowed and neck out, showing me they submit to me. I think the whole pack heard me. "Alpha, I need to examine her, with you here, it's a little harder, please wait outside," I did what I was told and walked out. Then I see Cody here, that made my red water boil. Why is he here? My wolf instantly wanted to take over and rip his head off. Before anyone can say anything, I stormed out the infirmary. Shifting into my wolf form, I let Kai take over. We ran for half an hour, before Noah mind link. Alpha Amina is fine and awake now. I didn't say anything. I just headed to the infirmary. I walked in and the laughing came to a stop. Everyone was still here, even Ethan and his mate Jess was here. They were looking at me with disappointed faces, except for one. Amina, she was staring shooting daggers at me. I cleared my throat to him. Could everyone leave? I need to speak to Cody and Amina. Alone, I stated. Everyone slowly making their way out the room except for Cassie. She glared at me for a second. I returned that glare with a glare of my own, ready to use my alpha tone. Babe. Maybe we should leave for a little. Noah said. Fine, she turned to Amina. If you need me I'll be right outside, she said smiling at Amina, then stomping out of the room. You guys mind telling me what happened? I asked calmly, although Kai was going crazy, trying to rip Cody head off. Amina just stared out the window, not giving me the silent treatment. My wolf whimper mentally. Alpha, what you saw was not what you think, he said in a shaky voice. Well, what was it then? I roared. As he cowered away. Calm the down, Amina spat, finally joining the conversation. I took a deep breath. Okay, I'm sorry, it should have never got that far, Amina. It's just when my wolf saw you guys being intimate he lost it. I said. What? You broke my wrist, cause you assumed on your own that Cody and I was intimate. Amina yelled out. Well then what was it then? I questioned back. She went back to ignoring me and staring out the window. Alpha, I know, Cody said. I was getting irritated at this point. My mate ignoring me and Cody is still in room not giving me an explanation. Know what, Cody? I roared out. That Amina is your mate, and she's our Luna, he blurted. I stood there frozen. Alpha, Luna was just telling me not to let anyone know that she's our Luna. She didn't want you to get mad, he stated. The door slammed open, my TIC barged in with everyone in tow. He stood in front of Amina, in a protective stance. How could you do this to our Luna? He stated, anger and disappointment laced in his tone. Ethan is my age, it was always Ethan, Noah and I, growing up, even going through my difficult time, they both stood by me, comforting me. Frustrated, I rubbed my face and ran my finger through my hair. Everyone out. I yelled out using my alpha voice, making everyone cower and walk out. Ethan was the last to walk. He looked at Amina, giving her a reassuring smile, and walked out. I'm sorry, love, I said sadly with my head hung low. You can't say that, Kingston. 1 minute you're making me feel like I'm the happiest girl in the world, then the next minute you're breaking my heart into 1,000 pieces. I can't do this shit anymore, she spat. I didn't say anything, cause she was right. You were mad at Cody and I. We didn't do anything except felt guilty for lying to you when you asked us what we were doing. I didn't want you to get angry, cause you didn't want me as your mate. So I asked Cody not to say anything. Instead you break my wrist. You have no rights to get mad at me. I should be the one mad at you. I was the one that walked in on you with a she-wolf straddling you, knowing you're about to do God knows what. She yelled out angrily. Amina, it's not what you think, I respond. I don't want to talk to you, leave. Me? Alone. She spat. I decided it's best to leave her alone. I walked out and everyone I'm sure heard our conversation. They stared everywhere else except my direction. I need another run. Chapter 22 Amina Pov. It's been a couple days since I've seen Kingston. Everybody been visited me a lot. Mostly Ethan. Ever since he found out I'm Kingston mate, he's been super protective. The TIC usually are when it comes to their lunar. Cassie went into heat a day or two ago, she'll be in heat for 5 days, then it'll take her a day to recover her strength, so she'll be out for almost a week. I'm currently home, Kingston still haven't paid me for the day and a half I worked. Jerk. I decided I'm no longer working for Kingston, I don't want nothing to do with him anymore. I decided it's time for me to move on. Yes, I'm gonna be in pain, but it'll pass. Hurting me physically was crossing the line. So I decided I needed to just get away for a couple days. By then Cassie will be back to normal. I wrote a note to say I'll be back soon. Just in case anyone was wondering. I pack a bag and shift into my wolf form. And ran. Mature content ahead Cassie Pov. Noah, I yelled out in my room. In here, he responded, from my bathroom. What are you doing? I need you next to me. I cried out. This heat is no joke, I'm acting like I'm a damsel in distress. Which technically I am, Noah, and I haven't even started the mating process. I mean, it's not that I'm not ready, but how do you tell your mate you want to be marked? Mostly me. Then I felt like a million knives stabbing me in my lower abdomen. In Noah, where the are you? I yelled out in pain. I'm coming, he said. Running towards me in bed. We laid in bed with his arm wrapped around me. The next day. I woke up out of energy the next day, day 3 of the heat. Good morning, sugar, Noah greeted me. Morning, Nutella, I said, getting up to the bathroom. Showered, came out, in Noah t-shirt and undies. I'm still in heat with barely any energy, so don't judge me. Hey love, I got you breakfast, eat up, he said. Noah, I'm not hungry. I pouted. Baby, you haven't ate much, you'll be all bones soon, he said. Fine, I'll take a bite of bacon, I stated. Noah. Yeah, he responded. Nothing, I said, smiling at him. The pain isn't as intense as it is the first 2 days. Noah and I are currently watching a movie on Netflix in my room. Haha, his laughter is so cute. It's now or never. Noah. I said, standing up. Yeah, he said, looking up at me. That's all that came it. Just spit it out, sugar. I know you want something, just come out and say it. Whatever it is, I'll get it for you, Noah said, still eyeing me. Okay, here goes nothing. I want you to mark me. I blurted. What? He said, sitting up with a confused face. I know, why would you mark me? I've been nothing but a complete bitch to you, when you've been nothing but a great mate. I don't deserve you, I said, with tears ready to spill. Hey, that's not true, I think you've been a great mate. I mean, you're nothing I expected, he said. Oh, he's gonna reject me. I looked down to the ground, not wanting to face him. He stood up, lifted my chin up to him, sparks was shooting throughout my body. You're not what I accepted. You're better, you stand up for yourself and the people you love, you aren't easily scared, and when you love with all your heart. I see the love you have for Amina. I'm just waiting till you're ready to give me a piece of your heart. And love me the same. He stated, the moon goddess blessed me with such a wonderful mate, he said, wiping the tears on my cheek. Then he plunged his canine deep in my neck. I screamed out in pain, but then the pain turned into pleasure. He pulled his canine out and licked the wound clean. Ow, Noah, you could have at least warned before you decided to bite me. I said, grabbing my neck. You love it. Now shut and give me some sugar, he said, leaning in for a kiss. He kissed me so passionately, I moaned, and he took that opportunity to stick his tongue in. Then he threw me on the bed. We deepened out, kissed. All right, you sure you wanna do this? He asked. Yes, I whisper. I clench onto the sheets. He started moving slowly. I sink my canines in his neck and marked him. We both lay next to each other, heavily breathing. 2 minutes later, Noah turns to me and says, round 3. I just smiled. We were fully mated. Chapter 23. Noah Pop. Finally my mate gave in to the mate bond. We are finally mated. Noah, I need you now, in my office. Kingston, mind link me. Alright, I'll be up in a few minutes. I got up out of bed, gave my beautiful mate a kiss and headed upstairs. This better be good, Kingston. It's 6 a.m, I left my mate for this, I said walking in. Kingston looks horrible. What's wrong, dude, you okay? I asked. She's gone, I pushed her away, she left me. He said sadly. I've known Kingston all my life, he's been through some pretty rough shit. But never have I seen him so broken. What are you talking about, man? Who's gone? I questioned. Amina. She left me. He yelled. What, no way, are you sure? I asked. She took her clothes, she hasn't been in the cottage for quite some time, I could barely smell her scent. He yelled. Let's ask Cassie if she knows anything, I said, as he looked up with hope in his eyes. You wait out here, I'll call you in once she's decent, I stated. He nodded his head. Sugar, we need to talk, put some clothes on, Alpha waiting on us, I told her. Okay, what's this about, she asked. Alpha will let you know, love, I responded. Come in, Alpha, I called out. Hello, I know I'm your least favorite person right now, but we need to talk, Kingston said. Cass just rolled her eyes. What do you want? She said bluntly. I need to know where Amina is, he asked sincerely. She should be in her cottage, where else would she be, she said with an eyebrow raised up. Well, she's not. He yelled. Making me stand in front of my mate. What do you mean she's not? She shot back. He just stormed out of the room. Noah, what's going on? She asked me. After telling Cassie what happened, she decided to run to the cottage to see for herself. No, she wouldn't just leave without saying goodbye, she stated, sobbing. I felt her pain. Come here, sweetheart, I said, pulling her into my chest. She's gone. Her window was open, her clothes was missing, and like Kingston said, you barely smelled her scent in the cottage. It must have been a couple days. The next day. Cassie is still crying, and Kingston, well, he's a whole different story. He's gotten colder than he already is, he's been breaking tables and reeking up his office and house. The pack seemed to notice the tension, so it's been quiet, all you hear is Kingston cursing and breaking stuff. Not to mention heavily drinking. It's all his fault, she left because of him, Cassie yelled out, sobbing. At this point I don't even know what to do or say. We were lost without our Luna, and it was clear. The thing is, only a few people knew that Amina was Luna. But yet the whole pack can feel the Alpha pain. Couple more days passes. Still no sign of Amina. Kingston even sent out multiple search parties to look for her, they all came back with no leads. Even our best tracker couldn't track her down. Did she left us? Did she abandon the pack? All I could do was comfort my mate and best friend. Ethan been blaming himself, saying he should have keep a better eye on the Luna, but we didn't know she would have up and leave. In a way I agree with my mate, it was sorta Kingston's fault. Ever since Amina showed up he's done nothing but made her life hell. I don't know if we'll recover from this. Chapter 24. Pick of Skylar Kingston Pov. It's been almost 2 weeks since Amina left me. My wolf Kai hasn't spoken to me since she left. I feel like my world is crumbling down. I was so sure falling in love with her would make me weak. I was wrong. Losing her was even worse. I'm dying slowing each day. I've sent multiple search parties, SND the best tracker we got, still no lead, I'm going in crazy. I got up and started cursing, breaking everything. All I could do is drink my pain away. Amina Pov. A couple days before. It's been a couple days since I left for my vacation, so far I'm free and happy. Ashlyn and I needed a break. We were in wolf form, resting under a tree in the shade. Snap! I heard the twigs break. I shot my head up and started growling. It was 3 or 4 rouges. Shit! I can handle maybe 2 at the most, but 4. That's weird. Rouges never travel that much in number, let alone together. As I'm deep in my thoughts, one of the rouges lunged for me. I dodge it, but then the second one came right after. Again I dodge it, but I need to start attacking if I want to at least get a head start and run back. Maybe they'll leave me alone once I outrun them. So I started running the opposite direction. I can hear all 4 of them run behind Maine. Amina, we gotta stop, my wolf said. What? Why, Lynn? I questioned, because I can smell another pack territory ahead, like 4 miles. She replied. Lynn, we gotta at least try and fight them then. I rather go against 4 rouges than a whole pack. I said. Right before Lynn could respond, I was tackled to the side by the bigger rouge. I did not land gracefully, that's for sure. We stood up and shook it off. I gave Lynn full control. She lunged at the small one, killing it in an instant. Then there were 3. They all rushed towards me. One got a hold of my leg and bit down on it, making me whimper. I turned around and bit him in the face, which led him to let go of my leg. Then the bigger one bit down on my shoulder, shaking his head from side to side vigorously. This is it. I'm staring death straight in the eye, as he clamped down harder on my shoulder, making me howl in pain. I tried to free myself, but it wasn't working. I'm losing too much red water. He then bit a chunk of meat off of my shoulder, making me howl and whimper in pain. I am beginning to see black dots. I am slowly losing consciousness, but not before hearing multiple howls. Beep beep beep, what is that annoying sound? I opened my eyes to be greeted by a beautiful girl, probably a year or 2 younger than me, light brown hair and a gorgeous big blue eye. Am I in heaven? I question. Sitting up. No, but you did almost made it there. My brother saved you, you're safe now. Amina, the name is Amina, I said, smiling. Oh, I like it, it's different. My name is Skylar, or Sky for short, she stated. So you want to tell me why you were in the woods alone, getting chased by 3 rouges? She asked with an eyebrow raised up. It was 4, but I killed 1, I corrected her with a grin. Okay, I was just running in the woods and the rogues attacked. I stated. Why were you running? Is everything okay? Why don't you smell like a rogue, or like someone who's in a pack? Skylar asked. It's complicated. I need a vacation. I replied truthfully. Well, that's one vacation you're gonna remember, you almost died. She said, reminding me. Hey Skylar, how long have I been out? Asking her while I take a bite of the food she brought in for me. About 4 days, she responded. What? I said, choking on my food. Where's your brother? I need to thank him before I leave, I said, panicking. He's interrogating the rogue. She replied with one eyebrow raised. What? I question. You've just woken up, you were badly injured, and now you're in a rush to go. She said. You don't understand, my mate is probably gonna be super pissed at me now. I said. Mate? You don't even have a mark. She said with a confused face. I told you it's complicated, I said, shaking my head. A couple hours went by, I was discharged from the hospital, and given a guest bedroom, in their pack house. Skylar, I found out, is 17, turning 18 in about 6 months. Turns out, her brother is the alpha here, Alpha Christian Kane Hawthorne, and his pack is the Blue Creek pack, another big pack. The door open and here comes a guy that looks about 24. He's hot. But not hotter than Kingston. Why, hello brother, it's nice to finally have you here. How was the torturing going? Skylar asked her brother playfully. He shook his head. Shut up, Sky, he said jokingly. Hello, my name is Christian. I don't know if you belong to a pack or not, but is there anyone we can call to let them know you're okay? He kindly asked. Yes, I need to call my mate, I stated. Okay, what pack is it? He asked. The Black Beast pack. He looked up at me, then looked at Skylar with a worried face. What? I questioned. We'll talk about it in the morning, it's late. We'll also give Alpha Carter a call tomorrow as well, he said, walking with Skylar to the door. They both said good night and I quickly fell asleep. Chapter 25. Amina Pov. I was so eager to get up this morning. Yeah, I know, me getting up, that sounds crazy. After showering and my morning routine, I walked downstairs and was greeted by the smell of bacon. I sat down at the kitchen counter, since they didn't need my help. Good morning, Sky said, plopping in the seat right next to me. Minutes later, 2 plates piled with bacon, pancakes, and eggs was handed to us. Our eyes light up, with a smile from ear to ear. We just looked at each other and giggled. Finally, someone that can appreciate food like I do. We walked to Alpha Hawthorne office. We are not on first name basis, so I didn't want to disrespect him. Yo Chris, Sky said, pushing his office door open. I walked in behind her. Good morning, Alpha Hawthorne, I greeted. Morning, you can just call me Christian, he said with a warm smile. Okay, guess we are on first name basis. You can't just go barging in people's office, Sky. What if I was in a meeting? He questioned. The thought of the day I walked in on Kingston popped in my mind, right after Christian said that, which made me scrunch up my face in disgust. You see, even Amina agreed with me, just look at her face, she said, snapping me back to my senses. Huh? Was all I can say. You didn't hear me. Whatever, forget about it. Well, we are here for you to call her mate. I think she misses him, she teased. I mean, she wasn't wrong. I hate this mate bond. Christian dialed numbers on his office phone, then put it on speaker mode. Hello, this is Alpha Hawthorne, with the Blue Creek Pack calling. Is this Alpha Carter I'm speaking with? He said firmly. No, Alpha Carter is busy. This is Beta Noah. Is there a message I can take? Christian smiled at me, while Sky nudged me forward. Hey Noah, I said. It went quiet in the line. Sky gave me a confused look with an eyebrow raised up, while Christian looks at me with concern. Sorry Luna, I had to mind Link. Alpha, he's out patrolling the border. He'll be here in a second. He was cut off. Amina, love, are you okay? Where did you go? I'm so sorry for what I did. It was my fault. Am I an idiot? Will you? For I had to interrupt him. Kingston. I'm fine. Can we talk when I get home? There's people here, I mouthed. No offense. Sorry to both Sky and Christian. Where are you? He asked coldly. I'm guessing cause I said there were people here. Blue Creek Pack, I said. What? He roared out. How did you end up there? It'll take me at least 2 days to get to you, he stated. Christian mouthed out, let me speak to him. I nodded. Kingston, Christian would like to speak to you, I said, moving to the side. I don't care to talk to him, I want to talk to you, he whines. Wait, did he really whine? Ha ha, I guess there's a first time for everything. Don't be rude, he saved my life, I said the last part lowly. What are you taking about love? He asked with concern. We'll talk about it when I get back, I replied. He stayed silent. Hello Alpha Carter, this is Alpha Hawthorne with the Blue Creek Pack. It's an honor to be speaking to you. My mouth dropped opened. I guess my mate is someone people would respect. Hello, thank you for helping my mate out, Kingston said. That is no problem. If you would like, I'll have my men escort Amina halfway, cutting your travels by a day, if that'll help, Christian stated. Very well, I appreciate that. And Amina, I'll see you tomorrow, my love, he said, hanging up. I thanked and said my goodbyes to Christian and Skylar. Don't forget to call me and visit. Skylar yelled out, waving goodbye. I have a feeling that I'll be seeing that girl again. I will, thank you guys again, goodbye. I waved back, entering the car. I'm ready to go home. I'm ready to see Kingston. Chapter 26. Amina Pov. We drove through the rest of day, well. They did. I just sat in back, reading. Eventually drifting off to sleep. Amina. Someone said, shaking me. Huh? I said, groggy. We're here, and I believe that's your mate waiting on the other side, he said. What, already? How long was out? I asked, coming out the car. About 5 hours, B stated. My eyes drift to the car in a couple years away. Not making a step forward till I see someone I know. Just then Kingston came out. I ran towards him. All that mattered was him. Then I stopped midway, realization hit me. Why am I running to him? When I got there, I waved thank you to Christian guards. Turned to Kingston. Hi, I whispered. He then grabbed me, pulling me to his chest, wrapping his arms around me. I'm so sorry, I'm an idiot, please forgive me, love. He said with his face in my crook of my collarbone and shoulder. To be honest, I wanna be mad, but he's making me feel all type of emotions. So? He asked, what? I replied, confused. Will you forgive me? He responded with a puppy face. Is Mr. Tough Alpha giving me the puppy face? What has this world come to? I need some time, Kingston. I respond. Along the way, I drifted off and fell asleep. After a couple of hours I felt someone moving me, and carrying me. I was put down onto something soft. Which I'm guessing it's the bed. Then I was pulled into someone. I knew it was Kingston. The sparks were traveling every inch of my body. It wasn't bad, it felt like great. I nuzzled into him. I was out. I was woken up to the smell of bacon. Yes, bacon. Heavenly little bit-sized strips. I noticed I wasn't in my cottage, but in Kingston home. I went to the bathroom to do my morning routine. Brush my teeth with my fingers. I stayed in the same clothes that I was in. Which was Kingston oversized white t-shirt. And some basketball shorts. Good morning, I greeted with a cheery tone. Walking towards the kitchen island. Morning. Was all Kingston said. No emotions, no nothing. Well, who bit you in the ass early this morning, I thought to myself. Kingston raised an eyebrow. It wasn't you, that's for sure, but we can make that happen. My eyes widened. Did I just say that out loud? What? What, you're crazy, was my response. He smirks and went back to cooking. I just sat at the island counter. Awkwardly. Kingston handed me a plate. We ate our breakfast quietly. After we were done, he asked me to stay. So we decided to watch a movie. I watched Venom. I laid on my belly and got comfortable. Did I mention we also decided to watch it in his room? Yeah, he needs new couches. They were uncomfortable. I was so into the movie, I didn't realize I sat up. But I did realize Kingston grabbing my waist and pulling me toward him. Kingston. I'm watching a movie, I said, not taking my eyes off the screen. The movie was over, it was so good. Did you see the guy that plays Eddie Brock? Oh my gosh, Tom Hardy, you are one fine piece of specimen, I said with a smile from ear to ear. What? He's not better looking than me, Kingston said, arrogant smirk. I look up to him. Wait, what? He got his leg as around me, and his arm around my waist, while I'm sitting with my back towards his chest. How did we get in this position, curse you, sexy Tom Hardy? I awkwardly clear my throat, and try to get up, but Kingston wasn't letting go. He rested his head on shoulder. Can we stay like this forever? He asked while taking a whiff of my scent. I stood still and enjoy it. You're just so beautiful, love, he whispered in my ear. Then he started kissing my jawline, then he moved downwards to my neck. A small moan escaped my mouth. Which made things worse, he turns me around to face him. Then inched his face closer to mine. I bit the bottom of my lips. Kingston lips, but made no moves. I grabbed his face, ignoring the sparks, and kissed him. His face was priceless. He deepened the kiss. It was like an explosion of fireworks. I was completely lost. We pulled apart to take a breath, then went right back to it. He then laid me down on the bed, while he's on top of me. We were cut off with what the. We got off each other and off the bed. I'm awkwardly fixing my hair while he's looking toward the bathroom door. Well. So this is what's my best friend been doing, while I'm worried sick about her, Cassie playfully teased. I just gave her that I'm going to kill her glare. Sorry Alpha, we knock and called out but nobody answer. Noah spoke up. Well, we know why they didn't answer, they too busy getting it on, we just interrupted their sex sessio dash. I cut Cassie off. Shut up. Kingston rolled his eyes and wrapped his arm around my waist, and responds with yeah you did, which earned him a smack on his chest. Which he smiled while I'm tomato red. We all went downstairs and sat in the living room. So you want to tell us why you ran away? Cassie asked. Ran away? I questioned with a confused face. Kingston was next to me, his grip tightened on my hands. I didn't run away. With everything that happened, I just thought I'll take a little vacation. But who knew I was gonna get attacked by 4 rogues, and ended up in the Blue Creek territory. Right after those words left my mouth, Kingston tensed up, and his eyes flickered from blue to black. His wolf was trying to take control. So I cupped his cheeks. I'm fine, Kingston, I said with a smile. The Blue Creek pack saved my life, I said lowly. Thinking back to that day made me tear up a little. I could have died, or even worse, been raped. I owe the Blue Creek pack my life, I said, choking up. Kingston pulls me into his chest. I'm sorry, love, everything was my fault. I should have never hurt you. I should have been the one to protect you. It was my fault, Kingston said with hurt. I looked him in the eye. Guilt and pain was in them. It's not your fault, Kingston. I chose to go, but I'm here now, I said, trying to make him feel less guilty. I didn't know if you were coming back. I had multiple search parties searching for you, but there was no lead. Kingston says. You did. Of course I was coming back. I left a note, didn't you guys get it? I questioned. No, Ethan came in my office saying you're gone, that your clothes were gone, your window was open, and the door was unlocked. It was like you left in a rush. Kingston replied. Now that he mentioned it. I did leave without locking anything. Well, in my defense, there was nothing in there to steal. I thought nothing of it. I said. Okay, so you left a note, maybe it's gone with the wind. Cassie said. Then we all shake our head. Maybe the wind did blow my note out. But that's beside the point. I'm your best friend, we've been through so much together, you couldn't even come tell me. Cassie asked, with hurt. I'm sorry I made everyone worried. I said with my head hung low. It's okay, love, please promise me you won't do that again, Kingston said, holding Mr. close to him. I nodded my head yes. They really do care about me. My heart was full again. Chapter 27. Amina Pov. We all chatted. I was in the kitchen with Cassie making us some lunch. You smelled different, I said out loud to Cassie. Well, maybe because Noah and I are, you know. Mated, she said nonchalant. My eye widened. What? I gasped and grabbed her shirt, pulling it down from her neck. My mouth dropped. You guys. I put my hands over my mouth. Well, apparently you guys were busier than I was with Kingston, I said with a smirk. Shut up. I was in heat and it just enhances your sex drive. She said lowly. I chuckled. Are you embarrassed? I teased. Oh man, if looks can kill. I'd been dead with the glare she's giving me. Lunch is ready. I yelled out. The guys come walking in. After lunch, Noah had patrol duty and Cassie was tired and wanted Noah to walk her back to the pack house. I waved goodbye. I turned around only to bump into Kingston's chest. Sorry, love. I gotta go to the pack house to get some paperwork, bring then back here, so we can spend more time together, he stated. What? No, don't do that, just work in the office. I gotta head back to the cottage, it's been weeks. I'm sure there's a lot to clean up. I said, turning around towards the front door. Before I was out the door, 2 arms were wrapped around my waist. No, I don't want you back there. I want you close to me, please. I can't keep you safe if you're far from me. He pouted. I don't think that's a good idea. Everyone is gonna question why is Rogue roaming around freely here, I said. It's not like you didn't do that before, he says, placing his face in between my neck and shoulder. Plus my pack needs to know who their Luna is, he stated. I turn around in shock to see if he was joking. Nothing. I'm not kidding, I want to go through with the Luna ceremony this weekend. He said. I just gave him a small smile. But deep down I was scared. What if Derek finds me? I told Kingston I needed a walk. That he should go work in his office. I'll be home when he get back. I'm so happy mate is finally gonna introduce us as his mate and Luna this weekend. My wolf Ashlyn said. Yeah, but aren't you scared of Derek finding us, Lynn? How about if he hurts everyone? I can't let that happen, Lynn. I said worriedly. You gotta trust our mate, he'll never let anything happen to us, he's the most strongest and feared alpha. Lynn stated proudly. Okay, let's give this whole mate thing a go. I said. It was getting late, so I decided to head to the pack house to see Cassie and maybe walk home with Kingston. I walked in and was greeted with smiles from everyone. That's weird. Hi Ruth, do you need any help with anything? I asked. No. Dinner will be served soon, will you be joining us? She questioned while washing some vegetable. Sure, I said with a smile. I headed to Cassie's room. Knock, knock. Cassie opens the doors. Hey, what you doing? I asked. Nothing, I'm bored out of my mind. At least when we were rogue we kept ourselves occupied with hunting and picking berries. She groaned. Yeah, you're right, maybe we could do something. I asked while laying down on the bed. We can explore tomorrow, I continued. You know, since the Luna ceremony is this weekend, and being introduced, I should know where everything is. I said. Cassie turns and looked at me. And squealed. You're gonna be finally accept the alpha. We need to get you addressed. Your hair. Makeup. She went on for another 5 minutes. We can worry about that later. I think dinner is ready, I said, walking out. We sat at the packed table. It was nerve-wreaking to see the dinner table start filling up. There were fine people tht look at me strangely, some with disgust still, and most smiled. Jessica walked in, we talked for a little. A couple minutes later I see Kingston with Noah and Ethan. I haven't seen Ethan since I got back. I waved at Ethan and he smiled while sitting next to his mate Jessica. Noah smiled and nodded at me. I returned the smile. Kingston smiled from ear to ear, which made my heart melt. Just before he walked up to me, Crystal walked in. Kingston darling, she says, walking up to us, wrapping her hands around Kingston's biceps, making me growl lowly. She turned her head and looked at. Well, who invited the disgusting rogue? Earning her multiple growls from Noah, Cassie, Ethan and Jessica. Well, who invited the pack slut? Cassie yelled, getting up, catching everyone's attention. Kingston, you're gonna let her speak to me like that? Crystal pouted, making me wanna kill her right here. Kingston didn't say anything. Emotionless. I'm really second-guessing this whole lunar ceremony. Was this one of his trick? Did he want to embarrass me? She walked up to the head table, as Kingston sat down. Still nothing. That was it. I'm out of here. Before I was about to leave, until I heard a chair slid. It was Crystal sitting where the Luna should sit, on Kingston's right side. What are you doing? My mate asked. What do you think I'm doing, darling? I'm sitting down, Crystal said. Why are you sitting in the Luna's chair? He questioned. At this point everyone's attention was on them. Well, I heard you found your Luna, and we are having a ceremony this Saturday, she said. I asked you in question, what are you doing sitting in THE Luna's chair? He roared. Everyone flinch. I thought you were gonna tell everyone I was your Luna, Kingston, she said cowardly. Kingston's eyes were flickering from blue to black. He got and grabbed Crystal by her neck. His eyes were full on black. Kai has taken over. Why do you think I am announcing you as Luna? Crystal's face was turning blue. Kai, stop, I said, walking up to Kingston. I grabbed his hands and whispered in his ears, please let Kingston take over. Right after that he let her go. She fell to the ground trying to catch her breath. While Kingston grabbed me and inhaled my scent, calming him down. Everyone gasped. Once he calmed down, I was walking towards my seat next to Cassie. But he grabbed my hand. Where are you going, love? He questioned. Please come and sit next to me, he said while motioning his hand towards the Luna seat. You're my mate, this seat belongs to you, and you only, he stated. I turned around and walked to the seat. Looked at some shocked faces, and a lot of smiles. I took my seat and smiled. We will have a pack meeting after dinner. Everyone is to attend this meeting, Kingston stated, before taking a seat. You may eat, and everyone started eating. Did Kingston just kinda announce that I'm his mate to his pack? I mean, not everyone was here, but I'm sure it'll spread like wildfire. Chapter 28. Amina Pov. After dinner, we all headed out where everyone trains. Kingston got up to the podium. I know everyone is wondering why I called this meeting. I know there's rumors going around about me finding my mate and your Luna, Kingston stated. I shifted uncomfortable in my seat. I knew he was gonna introduce me to the pack. I felt a pain in my heart. What if the pack doesn't like me, or worse, doesn't accept me? My eyes widened. Cassie leaned next to my ear. You'll be a great Luna. Everyone will love you, don't worry, she says. While Jessica rubbed my back, reassuring me everything will be okay. Yes, the rumors are true. I have found my mate. For a while now, but I didn't say anything. Everyone knows what happened with my parents. I thought history would repeat itself, so I kept it to myself, he said, making me and Cassie give each other a puzzled look. Definitely gotta ask what happened to his parents. But I was wrong, my mate is nothing like that. I'm sorry I kept it from all of you. You deserve to know who your Luna is. Some may already know, some may have figured it out, but for those of you who are still clueless, my mate is. My heart starts beating uncontrollably fast. I start to sweat. Amina Ashlyn Conaway, Kingston said, as motioned towards me. He nodded his head, motioning me to come up. I gave him a scowl look while getting up and walking towards him. I turned around and stared out, many eyes staring back at me. I smiled. Hi. Please just call me Amina. Luna is too formal for my taste, I said jokingly. Everyone laughed. Well, not everyone, there were a few people that still had disgust still written all over their face. Or we can just call you the Rouge, someone yelled out. I turned towards the person voice. It was Jake. He usually patrols the border near where my cottage is. Before I can say something, Kingston lets out a furious growl. That made everyone bow and submit to him. Except me. I have alpha red water in me, so it doesn't affect me. How dare you say that about your Luna, he says while his eyes flicker from blue to black. I walk in front of him. Calm down, I said, putting my hands on his chest. He pulled me in closer and rested his face in the crook of my neck. Kingston. I smack his chest a little, getting his attention. What? He asked. I motioned my eyes towards the crowd of werewolves. Right. Saturday we will have a lunar ceremony, and everything is to be here. Meeting dismissed, he said, while grabbing my hands and walking, I'm guessing his house. We walked quietly. I let go his hands. This is my stop. I said. What are you talking about? I told you, you're not staying in the cottage anymore, he stated. I'm not going to stay at the pack house. Not everyone is content with me being their Luna. I said, frustrated. Who said anything about you staying in a pack house? I gave him a confused look. You're staying in our personal home. He continued. I will. If you give me my own room. I said. Fine. He said, annoyed. We walked into his, I meant our home. He walked me to my room. Went into his, which is right next door. A few minutes later, there was a knock on my door. I opened. Hey, I said. I brought you my shirt and some shorts. I know you don't have any extra clothes. Kingston said. Thanks. I grabbed the clothes and said good night. Today was Wednesday, 3 more days till the ceremony. Don't worry too much, everything will go great. Said my wolf Lynn. Well, have you been? I asked. While you spend time with Kingston, I've been spending time with Kai. He wants to hurry the ceremony up. He very anxious to start the mating process. Lynn said. I scowl. Lynn, I may be going through with the whole lunar ceremony, but that doesn't mean I'm ready to start the mating process. Kingston got a lot of making up to do. I said, blocking her. I was done listening to her. I love my wolf, but she's a nuisance sometimes. I finally feel asleep. I woke up the next day feeling great. I took a shower and did my morning routine. Got out the room, and stopped in front of Kingston's room. I wonder if he's still sleeping. Maybe he left. Right when I was leaning in to knock on the door. Kingston opens it, causing me to lose my balance and falling towards him, making my face land on his chest. He just grabs me my waist. If you wanted a hug, love, you could have asked, he said, smirking. Making me wanna smack the smirk off his face. Kingston and I ate breakfast, then headed to the pack house. As we enter, we were greeted by a lot. Good morning, Alpha, Luna. I nodded and smiled. I'm gonna be in the office, would you like to join me? Kingston asked. Sure, I respond. We walked upstairs. Kingston went right to work, leaving me bored. I sat in the chair next to him, with my elbow on the table and my chin on my hand. Then I got up and walked around. Then minutes later sat on the couch. This couch was way comfortable than the one at Kingston. I started jumping up and down on my bum, making me giggle like a child at a playground. Then I jump a couple times harder and harder, and then all of a sudden I lost balance coming down. Thud! I got up and looking at Kingston. He had an amused look, trying to hold in his laugh. I rolled my eyes. Just laugh already. I'm going to see if Cassie's awake. Be back, I said, running out the office. I was embarrassed. Morning, I said, knocking outside of Cassie's door. Oh goddess, how about if I'm interrupting their time? I was about to walk back to Kingston office, but Cassie's door swing opens. Why are you up too early? Cassie asked, groggy still. I don't know. I respond. Come in, let me get ready for the day, she said, motioning me to come. Isn't Noah still in there? I question. No, left early this morning to train the teenagers, she reply. Oh, okay. I'll wait for you on the couch. The bed might be unsanitary for me, if you know what I mean, I teased. Well, I suggest you don't sit on that couch either, it's unsanitary. She said with a smirk. You freaks, I said while sitting on the chair. Cassie walks in the bathroom. While I grab the remote and switch on Netflix on. Chapter 29, Pick of Ethan and Jessica Amina Pov. Cassie is finally out. Can you believe it? You'll officially be the Luna of the notorious Black Beast pack, Cassie said. We need to go shopping, she continued. How, Cassie? I don't even have a penny. I said, standing up, frustrated. I didn't have much clothes. Since I packed it on my vacation, and lost it during the whole rogue fight. I've been wearing Kingston and Cassie clothes. Cassie pondered for a minute. Well, you might not have money, but your mate does, she says with a grin. Nope. No way. No, I'm not asking him for money. I quickly respond. Are you really gonna wear jeans and Kingston shirt for the ceremony? She fired back. She has a point. Oh, I hate when she's right. Fine, I'll ask. But I'm not sure he'll give it to me, don't get your hopes up. I said, stomping out her room. I walked in Kingston office. Shut the door behind me. Kingston looked up at me and smiled. Curse his handsome perfect face. I shake my head. Clear my throat, Kingston. I hesitantly say. Yes, love, he reply. I need to. Just spit it out, Amina. I need to go shopping and I need money, I said without taking a breath. What? Repeat that but slower. He said, getting up. I need to go shopping for clothes, and I need money, but it's okay if you don't want to give me money. I'm sure I'll find something to wear for the ceremony. I said quietly. I look up at him, he looks mad. I knew it was a stupid idea to ask him. I'm gonna kill Cassie. He looks at me. I'm sorry, love, he said. I cut him off. It's okay. I get it, let's not make this any more awkward than it already is. I mean, I understand. He cuts me off. Would you let me finish, before you go jumping to conclusions? I was gonna say, I'm sorry, love, I should have been take you shopping for clothes. It's my fault. He said. I stood there and shooked, while he handed me a black credit card. Go have fun and buy not just your dress, but also clothes or any necessities that you need, love. He said. I couldn't help but smile from ear to ear. I grabbed the credit card, thank you, and kissed him on the cheeks, before I realized what I'd just done. He stood there frozen. I back out the office slowly. Thanks, I yelled out once I was outside his office. Walked into Cassie's room sulking. Well, what happened? Cassie asked. He said not to buy a dress. I said. Cassie groaned, but to buy a dress and anything I needed, I squealed, pulling out his credit card. Cassie looks up and we both started squealing. Let's invite Jessica too, I said. Cassie nodded. We ran downstairs looking for Jessica. We found her in the kitchen. Jess, she turns around and nodded. Cassie and I look at each other and squealed, let's go shopping. She out of her seat and was squealing with us now. We look like a bunch of crazy teenagers jumping up and down squealing. What's going on? The guys said, coming downstairs. We all stopped and collected ourselves like mature she-wolves. We are gonna need a ride to town, 'cause we are going shopping. Jess said out loud. I'll have Ethan escort you guys. Kingston said. I looked anywhere else but towards Kingston. I'm still embarrassed about what happened earlier. Thanks, I said, still not looking at him. causing Cassie and Jessica to look at me in confusion. We got to the mall, thank the moon goddess, it's been so long since I've actually been at a mall. Shopping. All right, you girls have fun, I'll be waiting at the food court. Ethan said, kissing his mate, making Cassie and I feel awkward. Okay, enough kissing, you can continue whatever this is when we get home, Cassie stated, causing Jess and Ethan to laugh. Mind link me if you need anything, he said, heading to the food court. Which I'm thankful for. I needed some girl time. We got a lot of clothes. But still no dress. We'll never find one, I groaned. Yeah, with that attitude we won't, Jess commented. Jess and Cassie sure can shop. I'm running low on energy. Just as I'm about to give up, I found this beautiful white nude dress. Guys, I think I found the one, I said. Well, don't just stand there, go try it on, Cassie said, encouraging me. It's beautiful, they both say in oh, as I walked out. I smiled. This was the dress. I paid for it. Let's go, I said. We got one more store to check out, Jess said. We walked to another store, Victoria's Secret, I should have known. I'm with mate She-Wolf. We are gonna go shopping, and you are too, Cassie says. What? No, I don't want any more panties or bras, I stated. Yes, you need some. When you and Alpha get intimate, do you really want him to see you in some granny panties? Jess questioned, while Cassie nodded, agreeing with her. So I decided she's right. I grab a pair of red laced matching bras and panties, and a black laced one as well. Then a couple of bras and panties. We paid for our things. Finally headed to the food court. Poor Ethan, he's been running back and forth putting bags after bags in the trunk. We sat down and ate a late lunch, or you can call it early dinner. I got Panda Express, and the girls got Subway, and Italian. Ethan excused himself to the bathroom. Hey beautiful, some guys says, walking up to our table. We just ignore them. Then one guy came up to me and grabbed my arm. I don't like being ignored, he said, yanking me out of my seat. The girls stood up. Leave us alone, Jess yelled out, causing a scene. Shut up, he spat, griping my arm tighter. I think you should listen to my mate, and don't you ever tell her to shut up, Ethan roared, causing Jess to smirk triumphantly. At this point everyone in the food court is staring at us. The guy let go of my arm, and put his hands up, surrendering. Thank goddess they walk away. We finished our food, and head to the parking lot. Then those guys were back. Immediately Ethan went into a protective mode. He growls loudly. Then the guy that grabbed my arm pops out, and whistle. 4 more guys pop out. We were outnumbered, but it didn't really matter. They were human. Then I hear growling coming from their end. Get into the car, Ethan tells us, but nobody moved. I said get in the car, they're rogues, he yelled out again. No. I yelled back. Luna, this isn't the time, Ethan responded. That's right, I'm your Luna, I'm supposed to protect you, I said. One guy lunged at Ethan, causing Ethan to counter his attack. Because we were still in the human territory, we couldn't shift. Another lunged for Ethan, and Jess jumped on his back. Jess, I already mind linked the Alpha, he'll be here any minute, get in the car, I can handle this, but before Jess could jump off the guy, another guy came and threw her off, causing her to hit the wall. She whimpers. Cassie and I both ran to her side. I stood up and looked at the guy that yanked my arm, he's obviously the main guy. I was ready to strike anyone that came near us. Cassie, take Jess to the car, I demanded. They didn't move. Enough, I used my Alpha Luna tone. The rogues all shake, and the girls plus Ethan bowed down. Even the humans that were standing around us quiver in fear. I walked up the guy. What is that you want? I question. You, he said, that made me shiver in disgust. Off, I yelled. He then yanks my arm hard. You're coming with me, you bear no marks. You'll be my mate, and I cut him off and smack him hard in the face, that even my hands are hurting. You and bitch, he grabs my hair and dragged me. Luna. Ethan screams, but was still fighting a couple rouges. He walked to the wood. Great, I'll shift and bite his neck off. Before I can do that, he slams me to a tree. Then the rest of his little group came behind him smirking. She'll be a great mate, my pups will be strong, he said. I spit in his face. He then punches me in the face a couple times. I spit out red water. But I will not cry. I will not let them think him weak. You will know your place, bitch, he gritted. He then backhands me, causing me to fall to the ground. He walked up to me and tried pulling me up by my hair. But stops when he heard a loud, furious growl. Kingston. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed this episode of the story, please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to get notifications for updates.